just allows for more interactions between the participants. We get to discuss issues that we are grappling with in our own institutions, and then share our common experiences, and even to some point the common solutions that we can then go back, explore within our own companies, and hopefully it will help us achieve the goals that we are trying to achieve.
I could see that there were a lot of brainstorming around, a lot of enthusiasm, and a lot of information sharing. So again, pharmacovigilance experts are really keen to learn from each other, and I truly think that the Roundtable session was able to enable that.
I think you bring together a group of like-minded people who benefit from talking with each other and exchanging ideas around.
I actually really like the format because it gives a good combination of the discussion part of it, and also there's enough time in between for people to network with each other, to connect with each other and share the philosophies. And so you really are responding from what you truly believe and what you truly think.
I was a little concerned about the roundtable discussions at first because I've been in them before, and sometimes people are very quiet and shy. This group clearly wasn't quiet and shy. Everybody was very active and jumping in and sharing their ideas.
Excellent. I think I really love the interactive part of the roundtable discussion, and especially a lot of senior people who were describing their experience and the problems, and it was very surprised to hear that everyone is struggling in this with a similar kind of a problem. So I didn't feel out that I'm left out.
It's really the first time for me to attend this conference, so I do find that's very different, so it's kind of very interesting, and the discussion seems to be very interactive.
I think the roundtable meeting format was very interesting. It really encouraged a lot of participation by all of the participants and sharing of ideas, and much more so than any kind of lecture format would have.
It's a great variety. Sometimes you come to conferences and a lot of junior level people are very, very technical people, or senior level people, and there's usually not a good mix, right? So this conference was very nice because it mixed all of those together, created a lot of good discussions within the roundtables, and so I think the participation was great.
They are part of a big organization or smaller organization. They are head of department or they're head of function. And I think again that's enabled this flow of information between the individuals. So I personally thought that it was good to restrict to expert and not to get too much into the granularity. Most of the conversation was very strategic.
Actually, I think this meeting seems it does have very high seniority, so I think that's actually a very good factor attract me to these meetings.
Director level, senior scientist or principal scientist level, along with some VPs. It's a group of people that we know enough about the overall strategy, but also know enough about how the implementations are occurring to have really intelligent conversations about it.
I did expect sort of a senior decision makers being in the participant, and we did have also some people who are more on the execution level, and they did bring their own perspective as well. So it's kind of interesting mix. I think it's therefore on the facilitator to make sure that the discussion stays at the strategic level.
There are people from a different pharmaceutical companies and director and VP level, and some people from even academic world. Myself, I'm from academic world, and some other people from academic world. And I think it was a very good to hear the feedback and listen their stories from a various aspect. It was amazing.
There was just a tremendous amount of expertise and a real variety of people who had varied experience within the industry.
I think that's a good format.
I was a little concerned coming into this, not knowing what to expect, but interesting enough, from some of the roundtable discussions, I had already met some of the suppliers, and so my one-on-ones, it was just an extension of the conversation. So I thought that was really good format, worked really well for me.
It gives the opportunity to meet with individuals and to start some connections, so I certainly think it's an adding value to the conference.
I think they work extremely well if it's targeted like it is here, where we are able to choose the vendors based on the types of work that we're currently doing. I've been at other conferences where you just kind of get matched based on your profile, and many times that becomes irrelevant. So I thought this was a good format because those I talked to are directly related to the projects I have ongoing at this time.
It was really good. If you had a vendor or somebody that you wanted to meet with, it was very nice. It gave you a nice opportunity to spend a half an hour one-on-one without having a lot of other people around in a booth kind of format. You really got to be able to learn about the services offered and the various vendors.
Absolutely, I would definitely attend again and encourage some of my colleagues and friends in the industry to attend again also.
I would be happy to participate again.
We'll see what your next agenda looks like.
I'm definitely looking for more conference like that.
We all are in our function, we are in our organization, and sometimes we have a tendency to think the same way and not look at what is happening externally. So we realize also that we have all the same problems. So I guess here, if I have a takeaway, it's mostly to keep the connection.
I think anytime you have a free sharing of ideas, there are things you can always take back to improve your daily work. And also, I've made contacts that when I have a question or I have something that I need to address, I can contact those people now and find out what they're doing and get their advice.
I'll definitely come back next year if you guys would help me.
I think this is an excellent conference, and I would definitely come back if it was offered again.